most active. King of the palace, rubber like Malcolm. Balled up fist in the air to the flashlight. Yeah, hands up in the air, they gun me down. I keep it on it, they crunching the numbers, I'm getting wild. Young nigga got a fetish for success. If I ain't next, and I just leave impression. Next to rain on the window pane, puffin' plain Jane. Let them second guess me, wanna cop the Porsche with the porcelain skin. Grip the wheels, let the horses just why they trash, another chore on my list. Out of this orbit, I saw with the pen. I'm eating good, Miss Caloric as shit. I sipped the potion and poured it in. I on the tide when she poured it. Opportunity, knock at the door, then I grin. They rush for the doors, then they open like biscuit. Pin stroke, game cold as the fridge. Sound wave for like...
Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Epic Podcast. We're in the house once again with my guy Justin, Jared, and myself. We anticipating probably having Ike back next week, so hopefully all things go well on his side and we get him back in the mix, man. How y'all doing, man? How was y'all Memorial's Day weekend?
Shit, mine was cool, man. Came and kicked it over your career for one of the days. Had somewhere to go on Monday, slid over there. Of course, we was in Cincinnati together on Saturday, so
we kicked it all weekend pretty much.
All weekend, man. All weekend.
Yeah, Justin, what about you, man? What you had going on, man?
Yeah, not too much, man. It was slow motion, so can't complain, man. Can't complain.
All right. Yeah, man, it was a cool vibe, man. Kicked it in Cincy, man. That was real dope. Went to the taste of Cincy.
Greatest city in the world, Craig.
Greatest city. It's cool. It's cool. It's a lot. It's real hilly there, so you gotta get used to that. Bad drivers, but nah, man, it was cool though. Nah, it was cool. Good food, man. We kicked it, hung out. Yeah, man, cool vibe, man. And then we, like he said, we hung out at my house, man, on Sunday, man. Had a get together. That was dope. Everybody came together, hung out again, man. It was a good time, man. We gotta kidnap Justin, man. Get him away from these kids, man. Get him over to the house, man. We just gonna have to just roll up and just grab him, throw him in the trunk, and ride off, man. That's how
you gotta do what you gotta do,
man. Hey, I ain't gonna be mad at you. I ain't gonna be mad at you.
Do what you gotta do.
All right, man. Let's get into this today, man. We're gonna be talking a little bit about the best free agents available. We're gonna highlight the NFC East schedule. Then we're going to talk about what's next for the Celtics, and then we're going to end the show with the Heat and the Nuggets final preview, man. So, let's go. So, with that being said, man, best free agents available right now by position. We're going to end the show with the Heat and the Nuggets final preview. Oh, man. Somebody getting some feedback. I can hear myself. Somebody got the show on live. All right. So right now we got best QB available. They're saying Carson Wentz. I don't know. It's a few others out there. I'm not saying Carson isn't the best right now. But you also got Matt Ryan, Teddy Bridgewater. I don't know if you want. I would put them two up there also. Anybody else y'all can think of?
Shit. I mean, I'm rocking with Teddy at it. I mean, I guess it will depend on how your team is constructed. If I'm a Ravens, Teddy Bridgewater, obviously. But if I'm hell, I don't even know who even needs a quarterback at this point.
I mean, you would just be looking at backups. I mean,
any
of these guys would be just backups.
Maybe some of those other guys. So, I mean, it all depends on team.
Okay. What about you, Justin, man? Any notable QBs out there that you could think of?
Nope.
Good backups? That ain't already been matched?
Nope.
Teddy
be the club. Baltimore got like 3 quarterbacks signed. I mean, they brought back Tyler Huntley, signed Josh Johnson.
I didn't know if they
told him up. The Ravens is like the opposite of racist when it comes to quarterbacks.
Yeah. We keep us a brother at the QB. Yeah. We had Trace McSorley. Shoot, we don't discriminate.
The same type of guy, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, let me get a brother that can throw a little bit, that can run a little bit. Like, let's go. Trace McSorley is one of those same kind of guys that can run a little bit, got a little arm,
I think he in Arizona now, if I ain't mistaken.
Oh, okay. He is. He started when
and got hurt, I think. But no, I'm with you. I think Teddy Bridgewater is probably the only one that really come to mind. I mean, Carson Wentz honestly wouldn't be bad either. You know what I mean? As far he wouldn't be terrible. So, but I mean, there's a lot of teams that could use a backup. Real talk.
I mean, if Andy Dalton still got a job, I mean,
Yeah,
anything's
yeah,
Facts,
possible.
he's still
facts,
holding on.
facts. Yeah. So
All
I
right,
mean,
now
we'll see.
yeah, yeah. Let's jump to the running back position. Right now they're saying Ezekiel Elliott is the best, but you also got Kareem Hunt out there. You got Leonard Fournette,
Damn,
Kenyon James.
Kareem Hunt is out. I mean,
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
still out there. Ain't nobody
hmm
Kareem Hunt, which I think is crazy.
man, don't get me
Like,
started, y'all. Don't get me
I
started.
mean, with that whole situation happened when he was in KC, I mean, he got a chance in Cleveland and showed that, you know what I mean, he could be
Yeah,
a
he
1-2
still can
back.
play.
Yeah, he's still really, really good.
Most
Um,
disrespected position in sports, easily.
Facts. Rumor was, man, what I heard, which is crazy, but it is what it is. They claim Kareem Hunt lost a step, which is why like Cleveland didn't bring him back and so on. I'm like, man, y'all so.
Yeah. They
he's,
probably
they
actually gonna,
lying.
because actually them having those two backs was actually clutch for them last year.
It
Because they
was.
get, you know what I'm saying. That's what made. I
And
think
they
that
really both
what made.
stayed relatively healthy.
Hmm?
Yeah.
I think
So,
Dearness Johnson's getting his shot now, which is why they didn't
Yeah.
bring Kareem Hunt back.
And then
That's really what it comes down to.
of course you could pay you could pay that kid crumbs,
Yeah,
right,
which is
right,
what
right,
he's
and then
right.
getting
you
right
have to
now.
pay. So I
Hmm
mean I get it, but I
Kareem
mean
Hunt
it's
probably is trying to get a little extra money after
I mean,
proving himself that he
he ain't
still
never
got it.
really make no money. That's the thing people forget. Like he
That's
got
true too.
released and he's never made
Yeah,
any
that's
real
right. He never
money in
made
the
that next
league.
like
So
contract.
I feel like the Bears should pick him up.
That'd be a good place.
I just want to see them for obvious reasons. I want to see them stack up, like, so then we
mhm.
can finally say, okay, something Ohio State quarterbacks is doing is trash. Like, stack up. Let's see them with a
Just give him
formidable.
just give him
You know what I'm
everything he
saying?
need
Like,
and just
stack
see
up.
what happens.
They
Yeah,
got
I mean
DJ Moore. They got homeboy from the Steelers.
Chase
Like,
Chase Claypool.
yeah,
They
yeah.
got
Let's
Maroney. They
yeah.
got some guys.
Let's
Cole
see.
Komet
And
at
then
tight end.
they just shored up the offensive line a little bit. It's a little bit better than it was
Yeah,
last year.
a
I mean,
little
I'm just saying
bit.
it's a
It's
little bit.
better.
It's
Well, yeah,
better.
it
That's
should be better. Yeah,
it's better. Yeah, that's what
they
I'm saying. I mean,
still.
last year it's like picking a stick up off the ground, but it's a
Yeah.
little better. I will
They
say that.
still need more work on that O line for real.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Yeah.
get it, yeah. But the crazy thing is, like, if we think about it, I guarantee you, like, if we actually pulled up a list of teams, there's probably at least 10 teams in the NFL we can say right now, whether it's Fournette, whether it's Hunt, even Zeke, where you'd be like, oh no, he
He
would
can go
make
there
that
and
team
play.
better. Yeah, like he could
Yes.
go there and play. Like
Like,
I ain't talking about starter 30 carries, but he could
right,
come and
right.
give you 10 carries a game and be effective. You
Like,
know
who's
what I
running
mean?
the ball
Absolutely.
in Houston right now?
Pierce.
That rookie, yeah.
Yeah, Pierce, he's solid.
From where?
Um,
I can't
uh,
remember
uh,
from
uh,
where.
uh, 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 what are
But he had a
shoot?
very solid rookie season last year.
Yeah, he did. He
And,
was
certain things ring bells. Like, I'm spacing it. I couldn't
Damian
remember.
Pierce from Florida.
Yeah, I
But I
never
mean,
heard of it. That's
even if
crazy.
you throw in a vet like a Fournette, because Pierce is more of a he's a one cut back. I like to say, like he not you're not gonna get a lot of spin move. You're not gonna get a lot of moves out of him. He's gonna hit the hole and go. So I say you put somebody a short. I mean, all these guys is good for
I
short.
think,
Like Leonard Fournette, good for short yards.
yeah, I
Great
think Leonard Fournette
hands.
still got some left in the tank. I
Oh,
mean, Tom
facts,
Brady was
Yeah,
throwing the
facts,
ball
great blocker.
facts.
65 times a game. Like, how are you going? What are you going to
Yeah,
do with 7 carries a game? Like, so
Right.
I would definitely take a chance on Fournette for sure.
yeah. I mean,
Kareem
listen,
Hunt has good hands. Like I
listen.
And
like.
then I think it's
Well,
all about having two. You have a Leonard
yes,
Fournette, and then you have a
yes,
smaller, quicker back. Like, it's
yes.
Right.
not rocket science. Like,
Yeah, you gotta be flexible at that position. Like, think
yeah.
about it. Buffalo needs a running back. They can use some help there
Yeah.
from a veteran.
Because all they got
Pittsburgh
is
needs
Naeem
somebody behind
Hines.
Najee, and they
Mm-hmm.
don't even use Hines like we
Not like
thought
that.
he
He
would.
should. He
Yeah,
mainly special teams.
that's it.
Right.
We thought he would, but like Pittsburgh needs somebody behind Najee. That's a fact because they're
Mm-hmm.
running him into the ground. Um,
Yeah.
well, we talked about Cleveland; they're fine. Who else am I thinking about? Jacksonville could probably use somebody behind ETN.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Who's the Colts backup now? Do they
Oh,
still
we
have
got
Jackson?
boy from Buffalo that we traded. We switched backs.
Oh, Zach Moss. That's right.
Moss. Yeah. So
Yeah. How do you feel about that being your back? You know what I
mm,
mean? Like
I mean
he's okay. Yeah, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
that's what I'm
Or
saying. I mean him and Naeem. I mean it's the same kind of back. I mean they
mhm.
small, quick backs.
Yeah, but even more to your point too, Jared. Houston, you need another back because Pierce
Yeah.
got banged up last year. He missed some time. The
Who's
Chargers.
behind Christian
All,
McCaffrey?
What's his name?
Mitchell.
Yep,
Oh,
Elijah
okay.
Mitchell.
I didn't,
Elijah Mitchell. Yep.
because
But
I
they
know he's
need
gonna be looking
honestly
for some
there.
money soon.
They
Soon.
need like three or four backs there because of how that system and how they
Yeah.
use them. For
They
real,
need
like
three
every
or
year,
four back.
quarterbacks and running backs, man, they get hurt. I don't know
Yeah,
what it
they
is
be getting
about that
smacked
scheme,
out
but
there
they
in
go
San
down so
Fran for
man,
sure.
they go down so quick. So San Fran can
Mhm.
always use somebody. But Austin Eckler, he's been crying for help. Y'all
Yep.
don't think he'll be happy to get a Zeke, Leonard, or somebody in there to help
Even
alleviate
Kenyon
some of that?
Drake, with
Yeah,
the way they
somebody,
offense is, I think Kenyon
somebody.
Drake would fit that.
You know what I mean?
That
Somebody.
They
sprint,
tossed that
that
2 years of incentives on to Eckler's, and I guess he cool.
run.
Yeah, but I think, say for example, eh, uh, Zeke would be a great short yardage back there where he could come in and get those tough yards because Eckler's
Hmm.
not the biggest guy,
Well, but
and
Eckler,
Right,
it's
but
right.
taking a
Eckler's
toll on
good at
him.
short yardage. What I would say is
But he's
more
taking a toll
pass
on his
blocking
body.
yeah, I'm just saying more. If you could take
Yeah.
the pass blocking off of Eckler and take some of those catches out the backfield, some of them routes out the backfield with Zeke or you know what I mean, or even Kareem Hunt, and just let
Hmm.
him purely run, I think that'll help out a lot.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, with that switch of pace, you throw
Yep.
Zeke
Hmm.
in there, let him pound on some guys' paws, and then put Eckler in and let him run around some guys. Like, I mean,
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yep.
have
That's
a
all
little
I'm thinking.
balance.
Yeah, nah, you're right. There's a lot of teams out there.
A
Shoot, who's
lot,
running the
man.
ball in for the Rams?
I swear I was just thinking the same thing. Like I don't even know if they still got old boy who got hurt towards Achilles came back.
Akers,
Akers. Yeah, I'm
like
assuming
Cam
he's still there.
Akers.
Yeah,
Like I don't
yeah.
know, I don't know, but a Kareem Hunt there would be crazy.
I
Man,
You
that
put
would
mean,
be
him in that
nuts.
offense
yeah, that'd
with
be
the
good. I
yeah.
mean, they're terrible. Their team is terrible, absolutely
Yeah, I mean,
terrible.
but
Their
I
offensive
mean, you
line
need
is
some.
terrible.
You need some
But
guys. You need a couple of like 1 year guys because that's all
yeah,
you're gonna be able to get for a minute.
right, right, because they
Fill
cap
it
is
up with one
jacked.
year
Yep,
vets and see what
guys who can
happens.
come prove it. Yeah,
Yep.
for real.
Nah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Cam Akers is still with the
The
Rams.
Rams.
He's still
Okay.
with the round. Okay. But still, having two of them wouldn't hurt. Like you said, even like I said, the Leonard Fournette there will work very well too.
Yep.
A big
Arizona
back,
needs somebody behind Connors.
man. They
You know what I mean?
need
Like
what they
I
another
think I
team
just
that
think
needs.
GMs are riding this wave. They're trying to like, I guess since the quarterback value is running up high, they're trying to like just diminish the running back. So
they
like,
are. You right.
you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't
Makes
put it
sense.
past them. So it's just like they're just trying to run the value of running backs down into the ground so that they can continue to pay
That's
quarterbacks
the time,
150
man.
million a season and
Okay,
shit.
we got
So
Ike in here.
You right.
He
You
said,
right.
"Leave." He said, "Leave my Niners out of this. We're good at running back, sir."
okay,
Okay.
He said, and then
right,
he said, "Eli." I don't know.
fair enough.
I don't
Yeah,
know what
Elijah
that.
Mitchell. At least
Oh,
Elijah
Elijah.
Mitchell
Oh,
and McCaffrey are great. Yeah, don't get me
yeah,
wrong. I love that 1-2 combo. All we're saying, sir,
sir.
is that y'all have a tendency to get banged up at that position.
Yeah.
So having another guy, which I'm sure they probably do, but having a third solid option would
And
be
even if
good.
you get like like again a short yardage, so McCaffrey
Mhm.
ain't got to keep running. You know what I mean? Like you can just run.
Oh
Ooh,
Lord.
we
Oh
got
God.
action. Making a special guest
Special
appearance
special
from the
guest.
depths
Special
of the
guest.
sea back to the black. No. Hold on, let me get him in here. Ice coming in here to rep. It ain't showing him though. Oh, let me get you up in here one time for the one time.
Hey
Unlock.
Jared, have y'all heard anything more about the Joe Mixon situation?
Man, that's what I be saying that we on simulate, bro. Like
So we all simulate.
there's nobody getting paid to make decisions to better the organization. It just Eric just simulate, like what I'm saying, because we could have kept him for less money. Where's he gonna
Yeah,
go? If
yeah.
Leonard Fournette can get picked up and some of these other guys, where is Joe Mixon gonna go? So
Nowhere.
if we
He
make him
should have just adjusted his contract and just
he
stayed.
takes a pay cut, like he would have no choice.
Yeah,
There's nobody working to better the roster. So and it's like ESPN be giving you the play, like they be giving you the game plan. Like nobody ever does anything. So he's making the same amount of money. Everything just chilling. Like at this point, he has to be the starter. It would be there's no
Oh
nothing
yeah,
else.
you're paying him too much not to be
yeah,
Yeah,
the
not
like
yeah,
starter.
it's
not
a
to
wrap
start. Yeah,
now.
you
Yeah.
can't put nobody in over him.
So just
You can't have
simulate, bro.
a $10 million running back. $10 million plus running
No.
back on the bench. Like that's
You
just
know,
No
you know,
sir.
like when you play Madden, the franchise mode, and then you go from season to season, and then you
Mm-hmm.
just simulate the off season. So you
Yep.
get draft picks, you might sign a guy or two, you might, you know what I'm saying? But nothing is like there's no focus or there's no direction with anything. It's just like, just random shit just happens. See y'all next season. That's what we're
Right.
dealing with.
Funny thing is, I don't think Baltimore is bringing J.K. back after his rookie
Really?
contract. After his rookie contract is up, I don't unless something changes. One, because I don't even think J.K. is happy, but two, because of how Baltimore's system is. That's a
He may
franchise
be able
like
to
with clouds, and
demand more because yeah,
I don't
he gonna
think
be
that
looking for
they
premium
gonna.
running
I
back
don't think.
money.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think that they would even pay a like unless that was a. I mean, we'd be talking about like a prime Ladainian Tomlinson type player.
Mm,
I don't
Hmm.
see them paying a running back in Baltimore. Not especially after Lamar just got his money. Not
Yeah,
happening. They can't
yeah,
afford to. That's the reality.
right.
They can't afford to now.
I can see that.
yeah.
I'll take him.
All right,
Oh
Ike.
yeah.
So what do you so what you got to say about the running back position, man? We was talking about who ain't been picked up
Man, I don't
and
give a
teams
fuck
that
about
need
them
running
running
back.
backs. I came in here to cape for my team and my running backs, nigga. Fuck them other
Oh,
niggas. I'm sorry. I came in hot.
you get
Coming
very
in
hot.
hot.
no.
Yeah.
We've been missing you though, so we need that. We need that
Hey, your
fire.
comments had me weak last episode. So if anybody watched last week's episode and I'm reading and just laughing, it's because of Ike, bro. That shit had me weak. You was saying all type of shit.
All right, then well, let's
Uh,
move on to the wide receivers, man. Of course, the best out there available is
hey man, I
Hopkins,
wasn't
but
done talking.
oh, go ahead. My bad. I am sorry,
Hey
sir.
man, because this man just act like we only had two running backs. We've got four on the depth chart, and Eli was gone most of last season. How do you think we reserved McCaffrey for half the season? Tyrion Davis Price and Jordan Mason are actually very, very serviceable running backs for our system. We don't need none of these other niggas, these bum ass niggas you trying to put on our
We
team.
stand corrected.
Let them niggas go to one of them other NFC West teams and get their ass busted. I'm
Fair
here.
enough.
I'm back, nigga. Where's that goddamn Steph Curry me?
Hey, okay. Um, the Niners definitely don't need any running backs. With that being said, moving right along. If you're done, sir.
I'm done. You go.
Okay, cool. Great to have Ike back in here. All right,
Yes,
man.
sir.
So wide receivers, of course, D Hop is the best available. But also
Stay
you
the
got
fuck out
Demarcus
of the
Robinson,
AFC and stay
huh?
away from the Eagles. Stay out
Uh,
of the AFC. Stay away from the Eagles. Anybody
you
else?
you got Demarcus
Baltimore.
Robinson, you got Galladay, you still got Julio, you got Jarvis Landry, you got Satan Brown. Like it's a bunch of serviceable wide receivers out here. Like of course D Hop, I think he's gonna be somewhere in that Odell money range. You know what I mean? He maybe start at 15. Uh, if he goes somewhere he want to go, but
Hopefully he
it could
goes
be
to
anywhere between there and 20.
the Giants or something.
I think I don't know, man. At this point, he 31. I think he
That
just
actually
turned
wouldn't be a
31.
bad spot for him. That's
Hmm.
Like
that's a good point. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think at this point, like you kind of ran your way out of Arizona, which it seems everybody's doing. Like, what's next though? Like,
Now you
where
got
like
now
where
you
do you?
got
I think you want to kind
now
of
you got all that money tied up in Kyler and you ain't got nothing. Nothing.
nothing around him.
You ain't gonna win nothing because you didn't win anything with D Hop. Granted,
Yeah.
Kyler was hurt this year. It's just like you got all
And
that
then
money tied up.
when
In,
Kyler
you have
wasn't hurt, D Hop was hurt. So
say what now?
I said when
D Hop was
Kyler
out
wasn't
because
hurt,
he
D
was
Hop
doing
was
That's
hurt.
what I was
steroids.
saying. Yeah,
They ain't really been on the field a lot.
nothing.
D Hop was
So
out because he was on steroids.
they did say something about some performing enhancements, but
That's well, he was suspended for the first 6 games last year.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's crazy.
That wasn't injury related.
But he was hurt the year before, wasn't he?
He has had
Uh,
injuries in
nothing
the
like that though.
past, but he's never missed a ton of
Nah.
games for injury. He missed a
I,
Okay.
game or two here.
yeah. As I said, I know he got banged up, but I don't think he missed no significant time.
So what do y'all
Ooh, that's
think?
wrong. Get out
So
of here.
Ike, what do you think the best landing spot for D Hop is?
Mm, D Hop, man. I hate to say this, but I really like him in Baltimore.
Yes,
I
sir. Yes,
think you
sir.
change the landscape in Baltimore and you make them you change them
Crazy.
from being a primarily running team to having
Crazy.
you can't stop them
Two
D
anywhere. You
Hop
might
and
respectable
Odell
receivers.
outside
yeah.
and Zay Flowers in
He,
the slot.
if you focus on the run game, we gonna throw it over your head, and now you have actual receivers there for it. Because like people have been saying that Lamar can't throw, right? I mean, he threw
That's
what
crazy.
5,000 yards a year. He was the MVP. had
Hmm.
Close.
33 touchdowns, and he was
Yeah,
throwing to Andrews and who else?
that's
Nobody.
it.
Mark Andrews
Mark.
for
Couple
man.
Yeah.
random.
Man.
So look, if they put
If he
that
goes to
offense
the
with Andrews, Beckham, Hop, bro, they're look. I would
legit,
have picked them for the Super Bowl early.
damn,
Yeah, yeah. I like that too. Um, that's. I mean, anywhere he go, he's gonna be. He's gonna make an impact.
Well,
But
he's been great with
Terrible
quarterbacks that you can't
quarterbacks.
even
Yeah.
remember.
yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
about to
like
say. Like, what about back in Cleveland with Watson? He like that
it's
was still a
crazy that they
that was still
even
a
still
thing.
have the money. How? Where are they getting all this money from?
Because they restructured Watson's deal.
They
Yeah,
did
yeah,
like this
yeah.
Yep.
past offseason.
Hmm.
yeah.
And
Remember
he
when
got
I
a
was telling you about them contracts where I told you think it's bad, but me and Vernon was trying to tell you, man, they so daggone slick with the contracts now. And I
they
want
can
to say they said
restructure
it
him
open
after
up,
1 year.
yeah,
They'll
like it
change it to a
opened up
signing bonus.
a huge
They
amount of
need to. They need to do something about that,
uh,
man. If you sign somebody to some shit, then you should have to be locked into that. Like
you mad because
that's
your
some
team
bullshit.
don't utilize the loopholes.
Anything, anything. We don't
Hey, I need to
utilize
get y'all
nothing.
GM in there, man. Somebody in there to know
I'm
know about
I'm
the
available.
salary cap.
I do it for cheap as hell too. I'm available. Hit me up.
Man. But
Nah,
yeah,
don't Mike
I
Brown.
mean him in
Don't call me,
Cleveland,
bro. I
him
damn near
him back with
don't call me,
Deshaun
bro.
Watson, a quarterback that he knows that knows him. That wouldn't be bad. I hate to say this, but the Chiefs always find a way to grab somebody. Like
Man, bro, we're
they,
the
you
only
know what I mean?
team
They
that
emptied
can't.
off Juju. They an old boy. So like they got room. They probably got money too, knowing them. The salary cap
It's
gymnastics
just
they be doing.
reconstruct your
That's
contract.
what I'm
That's some
saying.
bullshit.
Like
They need to stop that,
they
bro. Like,
always figure out a way. I mean,
because it just defeats the purpose of having a salary cap if you can just still manage to pay somebody 100 million, $90,000 a year, and you know, at the
Don't
same
get me wrong,
time
it
you're
still
not
catches
like
up with them, though, Jared.
yeah,
Like
it
you
does.
get creative, but it can catch up with them. That's why you don't see
right,
it done all the time.
But and then
right.
it's mostly the teams like the teams that win, like the teams that's always contenders. They always find a way. So you see what Tampa Bay was doing. You seen what Kansas City was doing. Like there's always a way to make it happen if you know you got that window to where you're like, all right, I need like we one or two pieces. Like I need this guy. I need this guy. Like let's get these pieces in here to make this run, this 1 or 2 year run, and then we can figure everything else on the back end. You know what I mean? And a
Right.
lot of those veterans will come in and play, like you said, for the incentives, and they'll make their money on the back end because they know that Patrick Mahomes is going to get them the ball. Like, you know, it's just one of those things. So I think D Hop wouldn't be mad at an incentive loaded deal because I
No.
think
He's
he
gonna
like,
get it.
especially if you go somewhere with a QB that's going to be like, hey, don't give me the ball. Yeah, I'll and even like you said, even the Giants, like to have him as a third out there with Waller, and if they get Saquon back or whatever, his sit in or whatever he's doing, get that situation under control. Like they got weapons too.
Speaking of
Hey, you
them,
know what
shoot, they
that
could
does for
use another
Danny
running back too.
Dimes?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
I mean, but he helps a lot of quarterback. I mean, if we being real, like
He helps
Atlanta would
every
benefit
quarterback.
from having, yeah, like
that's what I'm
Atlanta
about to say.
would
Every
benefit
quarterback,
from.
yeah,
I mean, because you put him opposite Drake London, and then Kyle Pitts, and then you got Bijan Robinson that you just picked up. Like that helps a young quarterback, man, because his catch
Hmm.
radius is stupid. He's
hmm
smart. You know what I mean? So like, I mean, there's so many teams
it's
that
not
I
too
mean,
many
but
teams you can't put him on.
yeah, I was gonna say there's only a few where you'll be like, they don't, they just don't need him. That's just what it
Right, right,
is.
right, right, right.
But I mean, can you imagine if the Raiders pick him up and you put him opposite of Devontae? You know, something like that. Like he just he
Mm.
changes so much for a team. So
Okay, so speaking about that, okay, so have everybody been hearing about what's going on with the Raiders, like with Garoppolo and like
the
him
foot
not passing
injury,
the fifth?
Passes
Yeah,
physical, they
like he might not be the quarterback.
man, dude, the season don't start
that,
for
that,
2.5 months.
they'll figure that out.
They'll figure
I
that
know
out.
they'll figure it out, but then there was also, of course, they with Tom Brady buying a portion of the team, they talking about him playing. I'm like,
Stop,
just let this man be,
stop, stop.
please.
Yeah,
They
that's up
just
to
like
him.
talking.
It ain't got nothing to do
It
with
is.
nobody
That's
else.
true.
Like,
That's true. But it's
all
like,
he
come
gotta
on,
do is come out and say I'm really done, and then people will leave it alone. But
yeah.
from his track
But you can't buy
history,
a portion of the team if you're still playing. Like the owners ain't gonna have that.
they didn't. Yeah, they didn't make it sound like it was a rule, but like you said, the
Nah, the
owners would
voters
have
got to
to.
vote on it.
Yeah.
So
So I
I,
mean,
I just
anything
thought
is
that was
possible.
unique.
And then I mean,
Oh,
like, what
definitely.
owners tell Tom Brady no? I don't know. They
that's
might
that's
all do it. They
very
might
true
all
too.
say, mm-mm.
Nobody
Hmm.
wants to see Tom Brady on the Wizards.
Oh.
That's
I mean, for
that's
real
what
though,
that is.
for
Nobody
real.
wants to see
That's
Tom
yeah.
Brady on the Wizards. So
I
Shit,
mean,
he
at
was on
the,
the Wizards
but
last year for real.
wait a
Like,
minute
to
though, with that
be honest,
offense though,
yeah. I mean,
that's not
Josh
the Wizards.
Jacobs.
that ain't the
Yeah,
Wizards.
true. That's true. That's true. That's true.
With that
And
offense, that ain't the
did he
Wizards.
not have receivers last year?
Yeah, that's true too. They was banged up. Offensive line
Yeah,
was banged up, but he
but
had weapons. You right about that.
yeah,
You right.
I think with the coaching change, I think he wanted the coaching change, but I thought it was going to be different. And then with all the off field stuff, I don't know if that matters, but I don't know. Being in there with his old guy, McDaniels, and that offense, a 1 year push, Tom Brady will do it. But moving
I,
on, man.
I tell you what,
He's done it
Hunter
before.
Winfrey would be Wes Welker if that happened.
bro. Two
Mm-hmm.
point
Yes.
oh.
Yep.
And then with
Yep.
D Hop and
Devontae on the
and
outside.
Devontae and old boy in the backfield, what? Yeah, right. That'd be crazy. They just had to shore up the defense.
Yeah, they do need to.
Just
Their
play, just
defense
shore up the.
is.
Hey, just play defense.
They
And
got
for
to
some
fix
reason,
that.
everybody plays better when he's there. So shoot,
They
they'll
would
get stumped.
basically be the Lions. They'd score 30 a game and give up 35.
Yeah,
See,
yeah,
see,
right.
I was gonna say
Absolutely.
I didn't know where you were going with that at
Yeah,
first,
I
but
had to
I
think. I
get
was
it.
like the Lions, but no, I get it. No,
I
absolutely.
get where you're going with that.
All right, man. Tight ends, man. They got the best one out there. Is
We don't need to go through that
it's
position.
Cameron
We're
Brate.
all.
Yeah, there's really nobody else. I mean, Max Williams, Parker, Hesse. Like these guys, I don't even know.
Mm-mm.
But there's tight ends all over the league, so we can move on from that. Tackle Taylor Lewan, I think he is
That's
probably the
crazy.
best out there, which I
That's
think is
nuts.
crazy
He's
too.
still
Like
free.
he's an All Pro, multiple Pro Bowlers. Like he's a very good tackle. I'm
Left
thinking like
tackle.
But
Coates.
he
Like
can't stay healthy.
yeah, that's true too. But I'm like, if man, like, but you still got like guys like Ben Jones out there, Donovan Smith, Austin Blythe. Like there's really good tackles, offensive line. I ain't gonna say tackles, but offensive linemen. Period out there, man. You look at Rodney Hudson at center; he's serviceable. And I think about like Tampa
Mm.
Bay, like, dude, y'all don't need linemen. Like, I would be grabbing these guys up and try to shore up that O line. Them and we was
There's a
talking
few
about the
teams that need
Bears.
that. Yeah, there's a few teams that could use that for
You know
sure.
what I mean? Even if you grab one, the guy, one or two
Shoot,
veterans,
even the Colts, they could use a
yeah,
couple of
we
linemen.
can grab
Seriously.
one. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
at least. It's definitely to shore up that left
That old
tackle
line. Yep.
or that right guard.
Guard.
Like,
Yep.
I'm with that. D line,
Help my man Jonathan Taylor out, man.
man, and
Please.
and Richardson, like, because for a second we was talking about getting rid of Kelly, and I'm like, you don't get rid of an All Pro, you know, center.
They struggled last
I
year.
know.
Is
I'm
what
just
it
saying,
is.
like,
So
like with a new quarterback, like you want to try to at least keep your center to build some chemistry. You don't want to bring in a new center and a new quarterback like that.
Y'all think Richardson gonna start right away?
I believe so. I mean, if he don't have experience, the best way to get experience is to play. So I don't think you see him on the bench, and it's nobody that's like, to me. I don't think Gardner Minshew is just light years better than him to where you're like, okay, he's gonna learn so much more by sitting on the bench and watching him versus just playing. Like
I feel that.
I don't think the learning curve is gonna be that
Let the
big to where
mustache throw some balls.
he will in preseason.
they'll probably start him, but I wouldn't. I would start Gardner.
Yeah, D line. Frank Clark is still out here for some reason. Like I think that's crazy. Like
Yeah, he's been a bit overrated
but he makes. I mean, he makes plays. If
in the
nothing else, I mean,
playoffs.
coming off the edge.
Yeah, in the playoffs he has. Yeah, but outside
Um,
of that, mm-mm. I'm surprised Ashawn Robinson and Michael Brockers are out there though. I like both of them.
yep.
So,
Brockers, Akeem Hicks. I mean, he's a little
oh
older,
yeah, that's
but
right. Yep,
he's
Hicks is
still
out
out
there.
there. Shelby
Mm-hmm.
Harris, Giovanni Clowney, um, like Leonard Floyd. Like, it's a lot of guys out there at the edge and D line spot that is just crazy. Deion Jones,
Ain't Yannick Ngakwe out there?
he's still out there too. Like, he had 9.5 sacks last year. Like, for us.
He can sack, but he's just that's all he can do because
And he's
that
still
brother.
young. He's still only 28.
Yeah, but there's a reason he's been on what like four teams in his few years he's been in the league, something like that. Because that brother can't defend the run at all.
Hey, look, we just need you on third down to go get
Yeah,
after the QB. Like,
but that's why he's out there because the
yeah,
teams are waiting to because he's a specialist. You know, he's
hmm
not a guy you can leave out there. So you
yeah,
know, it's
absolutely.
one of them things.
Um, Miles Jack is out here at linebacker. You got
Him
Zach
and Deion
Cunningham.
Jones. Yep.
Yeah, Deion Jones. Yeah, Kawhi Alexander. Like, there's a lot of solid, like, I would say inside linebackers, not edges. That's just out here. There's a lot of talent there too, man. Like,
Oh yeah. Well, some
I
solid.
mean, I think they're just waiting right now. I think there's so much money out there to be thrown around. I think a lot of teams are just waiting and trying to grab some guys on some 1 years to fill out the roster, man. DBs, the best right now. They saying Marcus Peterson. I'm Marcus Peterson. Marcus
Marcus Peters.
Peters. uh, which I agree with that, but you still got Ronald Darby,
No.
uh, Jackson Third,
William
Devontae
Jackson.
Harris, couple guys
William Jackson the third.
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm,
What a
some guys
clown.
out there. You got Amos at safety. Like still some good DBs out there. Solid. Rocky Sin, um,
Oh, that's
one of the
right.
young
He is
guys.
out
He's
there,
still
ain't
out there
he?
too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Solid. Not gonna change the game, but solid. Last but not least, probably the most notable kicker out there is Robbie Gold, which he's been kicking forever. But I mean, did a great job for the Niners for years.
he
Uh,
wanted to be out, so
yeah, I mean,
If you ain't
but I already
Justin
wanted to
Tucker,
he wanted
you
to get
gone.
back.
pretty
Yeah, I already wanted
much.
to get back towards Chicago, back to his hometown. So look,
That makes
he
sense.
did a
He been
good
on.
job for us. I appreciate you, but fuck you, nigga. Get rid of
My goodness. All right, y'all. We're gonna jump into this
I hope we
NFC
got the
East.
software ready to bleep out this stuff.
Nah, man. We on YouTube, man. We can go.
Ah,
We can go. We so
Vernon gave me the okay. If we get in trouble, it's his fault.
that's
Okay.
all right. I ain't
Fair,
worried about it.
fair.
The NFC East plays the entire NFC East. I mean NFC West and the entire AFC East. Um, and they play one person from the NFC North, AFC West, and AFC South, including themselves. So that's gonna be tough. Going against the AFC East, we were talking about them last week and how tough their schedule was. I guess it's kind of vice versa this week. Looking at the Cowboys, um, the Eagles, Commanders, if they're still going to be called the Commanders, we don't know, and the Giants. Yeah, man, they may have to change their name again
Is
over
this
some.
legitimate?
This is legit. I guess
Why?
they I guess they tried to get the
New owners or something?
trademarks, the
They did.
Oh,
trademark rights for them, and I guess somebody else has it right now for that name. I don't know who, when, or where.
How do
So
you how do you make
I don't know. Like I promise,
how
I'm
do you
not just
come up with
making
a
this up.
team
This
name
is stuff I
that's
see.
already that's crazy.
Yeah, so somebody
No.
They
already, I
paid
guess,
somebody for this. It's the crazy thing about it. Like
exact.
somebody got paid to miss this.
Yes,
That's
yes.
crazy.
So there may be a chance with the new ownership and everything that just came in that they may have to change the name
That's
again.
nuts. That's
So
crazy.
They gonna
yeah,
go back
but
to the Redskins.
I would. Fuck it.
I don't think they're gonna let them do that. I'm surprised the Chiefs are still the Chiefs. Like I'm surprised they still letting them roll with that. But especially
Hey
as
man,
sensitive as the world is
you win a
today.
couple Super Bowls, man. People forgive everything.
Shut up, right? They just shut up. Hey. So yeah, man. So they got everybody got the Dolphins, everybody got the Bills, everybody got the Jets, and what's the last? New England. So I think that's gonna be tough. I think it's gonna be some good games this season. This scheduling this year is real good. Like they've been putting like the some of the best divisions against each other to play multiple times. The NFC East was probably the best division last year. I don't see these records being the same this year.
not a
Uh,
chance. Not a
I don't see
chance.
everybody having a
No.
winning record this year, especially going against the AFC East.
Oh, Philly will.
You think Philly
Yeah.
will still dominate? Will they win the division?
No, I'm saying they're still gonna have a winning record.
Oh,
I mean,
okay, okay.
yeah, I mean,
So who do y'all
it,
think win this division? I guess I should say that.
Philly.
Philly.
I say
Easy,
that as
really
well.
easy
I
by a
mean,
landslide.
the Commanders are terrible. Like I'll be surprised if they win more than 5 games.
Mm, okay. I just
And
look. Nobody in this
Jared,
division has won it back to back since 2004.
yeah, I
Damn.
mean, but Jared made a good point. If Philly's healthy, I definitely see Philly. But Jared made a good point, and I was thinking about that a moment ago. I'm gonna have to see what Daniel Jones looks like because I'm gonna tell you now, if he don't fit that bill, they may only win about, they may be around that 7-win area too, where
Hmm.
they ain't looking too sweet either. So we
I could
gonna
see the entire NFC East outside of Philly being trash this year. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me
no,
at
for
all.
real, yeah. I think Philly, even Philly being good, Philly's top to me. That might be 10 to 11 wins. Like
Yeah.
I don't think they're running through anybody this year. 10 to 11 wins. Dallas will probably be underneath them around 8 to 9, and then the Giants, and then the Commanders come in somewhere around 4 wins, 5 wins. So
Yeah, because it's like I said, it's always tough them playing each other. They always play each other tough. But then, like I said, having the AFC East outside of that and the NFC West, so which ain't no pushovers outside of probably the Rams and the Cardinals, but having to go up against Seattle and the Niners, those are gonna be tough games too. They both run the
oh
ball very
yeah,
well
man,
and
yeah,
play great defense. So
yeah.
that's
Hey,
gonna be tough also.
can we do this too, real quick?
Absolutely.
We want to be the first to offer Ron Rivera a spot on the podcast after he loses his job for starting Sam Howell this year. So we
And
just
being
want to
so
say,
Just
confident in it.
offering the
yeah,
spot.
yeah,
Hey, wait. So is this the play for to get Ryan out there and get Eric a head coaching job?
Hey,
probably
that may be
Is,
it.
is that the
it
That
play?
may
might
be
be,
the
Oh,
it might
play.
be.
did you
Y'all know
did you
he's
hear
getting
it
that
here
entry
first?
tag for
We hearing
sure.
it. Hey, y'all heard it here first.
Yep.
Hey, I do not disagree with that at all.
So Ron, if you out there listening, what Pippen do for Jordan Point at the bottom of his shoe?
Man,
Come on, fuck with us.
we'd be happy to have you on. So yeah, nah. Looking at that, it's gonna be some good games.
Damn, y'all just defunded Ron Rivera. That's crazy.
Man, quickly.
Defunded that man in 3 minutes.
Hey,
That's
look, bro,
wild.
I'm not tying my career to no Sam Howell, bro. I'm
Yeah,
We
sorry.
also gave him a job though, kind of. I mean, we ain't paying, but you can come out and
no,
talk.
Yeah,
not yet. We gonna. I'm gonna grind this summer, man. I'm gonna try to get us a couple dollars. But yeah, man. Nah, that's gonna be a tough division, man. Um, and I'm just looking. I'm looking at the Commanders because I think they probably gonna have it the worst. Yep, they get of course the Niners, the Bills, the Dolphins. Outside of that, they get the Bears from the NFC North.
that ain't a good look for him either.
Yeah, that ain't a good look. But then they get the Broncos, man, and they get the Falcons.
Broncos. But see, the thing about the Broncos is the Broncos D was
And
good
then the
last year.
Broncos gonna be the same
Yep,
Broncos.
yep. So I
Yeah,
mean, if they can just score a little bit more, they're gonna beat the Commanders. Because I mean,
yeah,
y'all gonna have to look. Y'all gonna have to make me a believer on this whole Sam Howell being your starting quarterback. I'm sorry, and it ain't like they got a ton of weapons outside my man T Mac, Mr. Terry McLaurin. I don't see much on the offense. I mean, I know they got Antonio Gibson and the other dude from LSU
Yeah,
at running back.
Gibson is injury prone.
Yep, I was gonna
man,
say,
so injury prone.
and
He's
and
good
they
when he's
demoted
there,
him
but
last year. You
oh,
know what I
who was
mean?
yeah the dude who got shot in the leg?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I can't think of his name.
I can't think of his
Robinson.
last name, but he came in. He was
Robinson.
good.
Robinson is his
Robinson.
name.
Yep,
Yeah, he
Robinson.
came in and and played very well.
So
Yeah, so yeah, I look. Yeah, man. I see probably Dallas and Philly, and then probably I don't want to say this, but probably the Giants probably not
oh,
above
Giants are
500.
better. Ooh, not above. Okay,
I
I'm with you.
just
I think I'm with you though. I'm for
because
real. I think I'm with you.
I'm just saying
I
like
don't think they make it either. I
because they
think
pulled a Saint. I mean, they pulled the Saints, which the Saints is going to be a tough out.
they're gonna be tough. Yep,
And then I mean, you pulled the Raiders from the AFC West,
that's
but
gonna be tough.
they always tough too. So. And then again, you get the Niners, the Bills, the Dolphins, the Eagles. Like
Yeah,
you still get all them. The
it's a
Seahawks.
gauntlet.
Like
It's a gauntlet, boy.
it's
Yeah.
a gauntlet. Like I don't know. Uh, so yeah, nah. All right, man. Enough NFL talk, man. Let's get into some NBA news, man. Let's get on these playoffs. First off, we're gonna talk about what's next for the Heat. For the Celtics, not the Heat. We know what's next for the Heat. Heat come back, beat Boston. Well, I don't want to say comeback, but it kind of seemed like a comeback because they're stuck at 3 games for 4 games. But what's next for the Celtics, man? Like, what do they do next? Like, they've been very consistent in their playoff play. They've been making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. They done had a couple finals appearances. Like, what do they need to change? What needs to change there? What's next?
I'll start this one off.
Go ahead.
I'm hearing a lot about them trading Jalen Brown. I don't necessarily think that the answer is breaking them up. Um, I just don't understand that when people say, "Oh, they have to go apart." Like, no, maybe they both just need to step their game up. They both need to get in the gym and just get a little bit better. And then with Gallinari, like I spoke about this last episode, him being hurt him, man. That dude can knock down some threes, and that's really what Boston was lacking. If they could have hit down a handful of threes, I don't even think the series goes 7. I think they get Miami out of here in 5 or 6. But their lack of 3-point shooting, I mean, it hurt them. And
Mhm.
Gallinari's got some size. He can guard 3 and 4. Him just not being there, hurt him. Also, Brogdon being hurt him as well. So I
Yeah,
think not having your full allotment of players is gonna hurt you, a lot more times than it's not, especially when you're going against a team as hungry as Miami. So I just feel like, man,
absolutely.
they got to get healthy. Get healthy. We got to get Brown and Tatum more consistent. Just they got to take it up just a notch, and I think they're good to go.
What you think, Ike?
I am a firm believer of you are who you shown us you are. I'm not necessarily saying, oh, well, you got to break them up, but it ain't working. It ain't. Look, if your goal is to get to the Eastern Conference Finals and be a favorite and potentially have a chance to make it to the finals, great. If you're trying to win a championship, that team ain't doing it. And they were healthy last year. It did
I
do it.
don't. I
They've
mean,
made it
yeah,
to
but
the
they
Eastern
got a little
Conference
bit
Finals a
better.
couple of times.
They got a
They
little
got a
bit
little bit
better, and they
better
still.
and got they boot smoked by an eighth round, an eighth a team that really almost didn't even make the playoffs. Now, granted, Miami has overachieved greatly this entire
God,
playoffs, and
man,
hats off to them. But you was down 3-0. You had to come back from 3-0, and honestly, you were zero point 0.1 seconds away from being gone in Game 6.
that's true.
So, and they
Man,
they underachieved the entire playoffs. You gave away
the
two
only
to Atlanta
thing
that you
that's
shouldn't have gave
true.
away.
The only
You
thing
gave
that I draw
away the
exception
first
to is
game
there.
to the Sixers that you shouldn't have gave away. Like they look, when they get to this point in the season, they seem to fall short every year. This is a
I
trend
mean,
at
they
this
were in the
point.
finals last year.
And what happened?
I mean, but we're speaking like winning an NBA championship is easy. That shit ain't easy. It's only one team that can win every year, and so they
You're
they
right.
got there. They
And
lost. They
so
improved the
what's
record. They
please tell me the
improved the
definition of
record.
insanity. Like they're doing the same thing every year. You expect a
They
different
were
result.
hurt, Isaac. Like they were hurt. They were injured.
Okay,
Gallinari
okay,
Can I
was
say?
the guy
okay,
who was going to
okay.
get them to the ship.
It,
That's
But
who
if you
exactly.
look
was
at
leading them.
Miami,
Those
you,
are
you
two. Those are two solid players that could have helped them. Absolutely.
but you look
I
at a Miami that's missing a Tyler Hero. That's 20 points
That's
a
true too.
game.
I that's true too. But
You lost to
winning
a
a
bunch of
championship isn't easy.
non-drafted players.
I'm not the type
That's
that's
yeah.
if they don't win a championship, it's a failure. I mean, I'm not that. Now, if you get beat, you number one seed, you lose to an A seed in 5 games convincingly, first round. That's a failure. But I mean, conference finals isn't an absolute failure. Like they still have a lot of years of basketball to play. You think about
Well,
it. I think they're both younger than 26, 27, probably younger than
I never,
they
uh
I
got
never said the word failure. I just said it's not working.
yeah, Jalen's
but
26,
not
and I
working.
think
I don't think I wouldn't agree with that. But I get what you're
Okay.
saying. You made some valid points, but I wouldn't go as far as to say it's not working. Got
Justin,
a
what you
new
think?
coach.
I I'm torn on them. I don't, but I have to lean more towards I'm with Jared. I don't think you have to bust them up because part of it for me was coaching. I think the coach not having the experience. I did have
Yep.
an issue with some of his rotations. Like I mentioned to y'all
Yep.
before, like Grant Williams never was able to get into rhythm. They
And then he was letting him get cooked one on
yeah,
one against Jimmy.
Jimmy,
Why
yeah,
is he going one on one against Grant
Jimmy,
Williams?
yeah. Like they like. I
It's
mean,
crazy.
don't get me wrong, Gallinari provides shooting, but people keep they forget Sam Hauser can shoot. Pritchard can shoot like they. Peyton Pritchard can shoot like they had guys who could shoot. They just never
Right.
entered the game. So like he never really threw anything different at him when because the reality is what you said, Ike is Jalen and Tatum struggled a lot. and
He
they were
did.
not always efficient. So therefore, he was too afraid to go somewhere else to see if they can get a jump start from someone else. And you can always come back to your main guys. But who knows? I've seen Pritchard come in the game and this sucker come down and he'll hit
And go
two, three
crazy.
threes and go crazy. You know what I mean? So like I'm not blaming the coach for it all, but I wasn't a fan necessarily of his rotations. I think it can work with both of them, but I
Yeah.
definitely think they're gonna have to tweak the roster some because I just think you gotta figure out because the Horford Robert Williams thing doesn't seem to work. So you gotta
Yeah.
figure that out. You know what I mean? You gotta figure out is Grant part of your future, is not. And then you got a lot of guards too. So it's like you got Brogdon, you got Derek White, you got Pritchard, you got Hauser, like you got all these guys. Can you piece any of them together and bring in another, just one solid player, to kind of upgrade their roster? Because they just I don't know.
I mean,
I wasn't. I'm with you though. They didn't impress me throughout the entire playoffs though. It
No,
wasn't
they
just this
definitely struggled
series.
for
It was
sure.
not just this series. So
okay, so you look at it now, and I agree with everybody. Everybody made great points. And like kind of what Ike is saying too, like it ain't working. But then you got Jalen, who got 1 year left on this deal, who's worth a supermax by NBA standards, by the qualifications. He's worth a supermax. So it's either do we give him a supermax and keep this thing going, kind of how it's been going,
But
or
y'all know how I
but
am.
you
I'm
think
insistent,
I know,
so I
or
don't think
I
my
mean,
answer is going to
but after
go
this
much bigger.
performance after his performance in the playoffs, who's going to trade for him on a 1 year contract, knowing that he's available for a supermax after 1 year? That
If he gets
it may or
traded,
may not say,
would he still be eligible for a supermax?
yeah,
but you also got to remember too. Is two factors to that. One, what are you going to get back in return? Because it's not.
right.
I'll say this: teams ain't looking at his one bad playoff
No,
run
I'm just,
as being a deciding factor on a
no,
26-year-old. You know what I mean? Like that's not
I'm
going to
not saying
keep
that.
him. But what can you get back for an All NBA guy at 26 years old that's going to make it make sense? That's
Right.
the question. Like, what are
I
you
heard
getting back in return?
two deals with the Blazers. The third overall pick and Anthony Simons, or straight up for Dame. I don't know who says yes or who says no, but that's something that
Portland
I did hear on ESPN. I was reading something.
Portland says no to that as far as the Dame moves is
Mm,
concerned. Unless Dame says I want to be traded,
right,
I
right.
just think they're loyal to
They gonna
him
die on
more
that
than that.
hill.
They
I feel
going
like. I
yeah,
feel
they
like
going
Dame
yep,
is, and the Blazers will as well. Yeah.
yep.
He did stayed on Twitter because I guess like it's been some chatter in Portland that the fans and stuff has been like people just been chattering about trading him, and he's like, shit, he put on Twitter, start a petition, trade me.
I did hear that. I did, but
So
I'll say this though: Portland's not close to a championship. So, like as an
that's it.
organization, I would talk to Dame and be like, "Look, man, we don't want you to continue to waste your years because we're just not there yet." I would
Right.
be willing to move him. So, like at
Right.
that point, if he's willing to do it, you grab whoever at three. You bring in a guy, and you got some things. But I wouldn't bring personally. I don't know the Brown thing for me is just tricky because I told you I like Shaden Sharp. And I think you bring in Brown, that takes away from Shaden Sharp's development. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Anthony Simons is still developing, but he's shown you that he can be a guy. You know what I mean? So I just think you got to bring the right player in to make sure that those other guys you have there from a development standpoint can continue to develop as well.
I
Yeah. So
agree.
I just think the Celtics, with what I'm hearing, what all y'all saying, like the Celtics are really in a tough position
They are.
because they got, like you said, you
Mm-hmm.
got to figure out what to do with Jalen.
Yep.
Like you either got to move him or pay him, and it's gonna cost either way. And then, like you say, you got a bunch of guys on the bench that's quality, but you don't know the consistency, and you're struggling with consistency. So when you bring in guys who don't play much, that also can throw off chemistry,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't really come in super consistent either. It's usually you either bring them in to get the lead or to hold the lead. So like, what do you? I mean, it will have to be a big package with Jalen to move him, because it probably have to be a sign and trade. So
Now
you
with what they're thinking about with like the new CBA and how it's going to be much more difficult to spread this money around on one team.
that
Like
too,
you pay them, then what do you do? Like then you do make
Yeah,
it more
you can't.
difficult to bring other pieces around
Correct.
him, and
Yep.
and, now not only are you not better, but you're getting worse because now you don't have that money around to bring some of these auxiliary pieces that we're talking about that you're going to
right,
need.
right.
So I
Hmm.
mean, yeah, that's a decision you got to make. Like, do we keep them and struggle to find out the perfect pieces to put around them? Because you had good pieces around them, and we got to one finals. We've got to a couple Eastern Conference championships. What's our goal? If you're at Boston, Boston's goal is to win the ships. If
Hmm.
there's two places, Boston and LA, the goal is to win the ship. I don't care how
all
bad
the
that
time.
team is.
Every in every in
They
every
go
sport.
into every year. We're winning the ships, and
Yeah.
you haven't been doing that. And right now, if you pay them, you're probably ensuring that you're not going to do it.
Can I
Not even
ask y'all
close to
something?
295. That's crazy.
Can I ask y'all something though? Because I want to say I heard this, or maybe it was me and somebody else who it might have been me and one of my guys having this conversation. Would you consider this if you're Boston and or I guess Golden State? And I was like, Golden State. Now, my thought is, I wonder if the GM they really couldn't come to a conclusion as to how they wanted to move forward with that team, which is maybe why he stepped down.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Like just the difference there and there. But if you're Golden State, Boston, like I said, whoever, are you willing to take a package around like a Jordan Poole and a Clay Thompson, and
Oh yeah.
maybe a
Now we
maybe
talking.
like and maybe something like that for Brown? Are you
I
willing to
they
listen
take
to that?
that.
Yeah,
They
that's
take
when
that all
like,
day.
are you willing to listen and do something like that instead?
But hell, you gonna have to pay Clay Thompson too. He ain't taking nothing
But
cheap.
he ain't. But he ain't max. He ain't.
He'll
Yeah,
fuck
he ain't
around
make
and
all
he'll fuck
NBA.
around and make that trade and then Clay walks.
I think you bring in. I
I
think
feel you.
I think you got to
So I
kind of bring
mean,
in young guys. Like if you're getting rid of Jalen, who's 26. I mean, granted, he's all NBA, so the money there. But if you could bring in, like you said, two guys that can give you that production, you know what I mean?
maybe a
Like,
Kaminga and a Jordan
yeah,
Poole.
yeah.
Hmm.
Poole's $100 million player himself. That's 112, I
Yeah,
think, or
but
something like
but
that.
ain't nothing
No,
compared to
it
the
ain't.
rest.
No, it's not.
Because
No,
I
I
think it's
agree.
still. I think his is over 5 years, so it's really.
Right,
I
it's
hate to
stretched
say
out.
it. It's not crazy on an
So
annual
yeah, if you
basis.
can get him and like you said, a Kaminga and maybe a pick out of him, just the insurance, some insurance down the road, maybe a 2028.
I don't think you
Yeah,
want
you
no
do
pick.
that for sure.
But
Yeah, I don't think you
you
want no
want
pick. That's a team like Ike said. They want to win, and they. I don't think they're even into let me get a draft pick. Nah, like
Well, I'm just
we gonna
thinking like
roll.
what he said with the CBA, where you're not going to be able to bring in a lot of top guys. You know what I mean for the money constraints. So I'm just saying, like if you got that extra pick in the bag, you never know. Maybe you have a down year and you get to grab a guy. You know what I mean? That can kind of keep you rolling, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I mean, you're gonna have to like you're saying, you're gonna have to balance out your team a lot more if you only can have probably two super maxes. That's probably gonna be
And
them. That's where
that's.
it's gonna be.
Hey, I'm
That's
with
crazy
Jared
that
though.
you
I
would have more
promise
than
you.
one of those.
Hey, I'm with you though, Jared. I promise you, man. The fans would hate me because I'm telling you, half the dudes in the league would not get paid by my team, bro. they would.
Somebody
They'd
said, I
be.
think Jalen Brown is out. Yeah.
Yeah.
that was Jared. Jared
Sir.
said that.
Uh,
Yep.
so, um,
Hey, do we
yeah, man,
want
it's gonna
Jordan
be
Poole
interesting.
in that closer proximity to Ice Spice?
What'd you say?
Do you want Jordan Poole in that closer proximity to Ice Spice? You know what? Never
Oh
mind.
my god,
That's nuts.
I'm a
I'm
chill.
leave that one alone.
I
that
was
may
gonna
be the
say no,
deciding
no
factor.
comment,
That may what
That's
get him
nuts.
moved. He
no
may
comment.
request a trade with that.
He
All
gonna
right,
spend
man.
all that
Boy,
shit.
you came in loaded today, boy.
All that money. Hey, we've been missing this. We've been missing this fire. All right, y'all. So moving on, the 2023 NBA Finals is set. We got the Heat and the Nuggets. My question is, which path to the finals benefited who more? Was the fight with the Celtics and pretty much the fight all the way through the playoffs for the Heat? Was that more beneficial than kind of the Nuggets sweeping and kind of dominating through
Yeah,
the playoffs?
I
Like,
think I'm gonna go with the Heat personally.
what do
I'll
y'all
let
think?
somebody else speak first, but I think I'm gonna go with the Heat.
Go ahead, Justin. Speak first on this.
I mean, I think it probably benefited them both because the beauty of when you sweep through, your guys aren't as fatigued. They're not as beat up. So guys who may have been a little bit, hurt or whatever, they've had time to kind of rest up. Especially your guys like Joker and Murray and some of them playing big minutes for you.
I
They've
think
had
yeah.
a chance to kind of recoup. But then at the same time, I mean,
Hell, they
there's
could have
not.
went to Cancun.
Yeah, yeah. Like, and the reality
It's
is
back,
though,
like, yeah, 10
Miami.
days is a long
It
time.
is. It is. But I also we'll see how Miami's legs are during the series. But I'll say this: I don't know that there's anything that can happen in this series that Miami won't be ready for either.
Right.
So
Mm,
Miami's
so
just built so tough. Like
they are.
it's something that doesn't show on the box score that fuels Miami, and it's just like it ain't gonna show up. Like it's not a stat. It's not anything tangible that we can track.
Nope.
It's just you got
Nope.
to watch these games, and they just always seem to make it happen. And then when you got Caleb Martin playing out of his mind like he is,
He is balling, bro.
I mean,
Caleb
who would
Martin
have
is
thunk it? Who would have thunk it?
yeah.
balling.
So
What
But
you think, Ike?
when you get those kind of performances from guys that's not expected, anything is possible.
yep. And I think Kevin Love's going to play a bigger role in this series too because they're going
Yep.
to have that body out there
You
for
don't have
Joker.
to.
Yep. So I think
Yeah.
he's going to play an even bigger role, which is going to be huge because Joker won't be able to sit in the paint because Kevin Love will sit out there and shoot them
Right.
threes on him. So
Right.
Hmm.
And
it's
then the Heat
going.
pulled up the Highsmith kid. Who the hell is
Yep.
he?
I
And
hey,
he played well.
I
It,
didn't know who that was.
yo, when you can just point down anybody on your and I mean guys go in and out the rotation
Mm,
all playoff long. People have played 7 minutes. The next game play 40 minutes.
yep.
Just whenever you can do that and can still win, that's
That's your
crazy.
exposure, man. I'm
That's
telling you, he be
nuts.
on it.
Coach
He
Spo be
knows.
on it, bro.
He be
Hey,
knowing.
I gotta give it to
If
him
don't
now, bro.
nobody else adjust, he
He do.
adjusts
He do.
every
Man,
game.
I
Like
gotta
you're
give it
never
to
gonna
him
get the
because
same play
I don't know
back to back games.
how this shit's happening, but making it work.
So, Ike, what you think, man?
Who benefited more? I mean, that's a tough question. I mean, to me, time off could also be not as good thing, depending
Yep.
on what you did with that time off. If you rested too much, like anybody who's ever hooped, if you hoop for 2 weeks and then you take 2 weeks off, that first day back is that's awful. Like you can't hit no shots. Like the rust sets in. Rust sets in very quickly when it comes to hooping. So from that standpoint, I would probably go Miami. Although I mean they have seemed to overachieve is almost what it feels like. But I mean what overachieving does is it brings hella confidence. Like at this point, they're definitely going into this. I haven't seen the odds, but I'm sure they're not the favorite. But in
No,
their minds, they're the favorite. In their
I think
minds,
they're
there
plus
ain't
300
nothing.
right now.
Yeah, and in their minds, there's nothing that Denver can do to compete with them, and they're justified in that feeling with the path that they've taken. I also want to applaud them because they won me $200 the other day. Shout out to Duncan Robinson on that last layup in garbage time. Uh, but like it seems like Jimmy's attitude like
It's just
radiates through the
rubbing
entire
off
team.
on everybody,
It,
bro.
through the entire team, and I mean, like you said with Spo, one if anybody's going to be in shape, they got like what a 2% body fat rule or something crazy ridiculous. So you've got to be in shape just to be on the team.
Yeah.
Mm.
They could go deep to that man all the way at the back of the bench.
Cause
And
he
the
ready.
mindset, yeah, the mindset though is I come in, I play my role. You can tell with that team. I come in, I play my role. I don't try to go outside of my role. I do what I'm told. I do my job. I go home. And the only thing that I think could potentially mess them up, and I also put a bet on them, so I'm kind of being biased a little bit. I don't know if you bring back Tyler Hero if he's available
Mm,
because they're playing
Mm,
so well right now. And
yeah.
I think that
definitely have to look at that.
that could mess up chemistry.
Or do you just change his role? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe bring him off the bench. Maybe make him the seventh guy. Maybe not the sixth man, but maybe the seventh guy,
I'm
and
even
just bring him
thinking
back.
less than
Oh,
that. I'm thinking. I'm
I
thinking.
mean,
I'm thinking he comes in and knows. All right, guys, just ain't going type situation. Let me see if he can go and get a bucket. You know what I mean? Like,
That's tough, but you
like if
can't
we,
eliminate it.
if we hit a funk, yeah, I
yeah,
see what you're
yeah,
saying.
I
yeah.
mean, they're not an offensive team, so from an offensive standpoint, you absolutely want to at least have somebody who can score when you're in droughts, and they've went in droughts in every series,
Hmm.
That's
and
true.
that's something that if you do that against this Denver team,
They're gonna
like
put their foot on your throat.
you can seal your own fate in those scenarios. Now they rest on their
Yeah,
defense,
yeah.
and
I don't know
so
if you take
it's
that
a lot
risk.
of back and forth, but that's a tough thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I see it both ways too. I think everybody kind of see this both ways. You look at 10 days. Do you ever get 10 days off in the NBA? Like ever through the season? It never
This might be the
happens.
longest layover I've ever seen. 10
Right. So
days.
Man, you've
with
been on
this is
spring
with
break.
right with
Yeah,
this type
right.
of with
That's
this
what I'm
type
saying.
of
You could have went on a legitimate vacation, like
so with this type
legitimate
of break
vacation.
and not experience this throughout the season, like that rust. I mean,
Well, you
rust
might
is
get
real.
this. You actually might get this close to this around All Star though,
Yeah,
depending on
but
when your last
Hmm,
game was, and
right.
then when you play again. So
Yeah, but 10 days, like legit, that's a long. That's more than a
that's
week.
crazy.
That's a
You
And
could
long
have you
practice
time.
could have
practice
vacationed
don't
for
do it.
5 days, then came back and practiced for 5 days, and then played a game. Like
Yeah.
that's nuts.
So I
Yeah.
mean, but then also, yes, the Heat are tough, but we've been fighting every. You know what I mean? Like it's been tough games. Like
And then
it's
you
really
go
been
into that
tough.
altitude too.
So to have
Yep.
three
That plays a
games,
little part.
you know what I mean? I had 3 days, and you like shoot, we still mentally, physically, and emotionally tired from the last series. Like
facts,
that could
facts.
carry over too.
And
So
also a
that's what
thing
I'm worried
is
about.
they didn't go back to Miami after
No, they
game
went straight
7. They
there.
went straight out to Denver. So
You're
yeah,
not seeing your
you never
fam
know.
like
You never
you
know.
know what I mean. Like it's a lot. So
You never know.
yeah, yeah. So I
So I think
hopefully.
it's safe. I think it's safe to say that the Nuggets take game 1.
Ooh, it's hard for me to say that.
I
I
think I
I
got
I, I
can't
Miami
say
think
that.
game one.
Being a Heat fan, I can't say it.
I think I'm gonna go. I ain't now. That's definitely not my prediction on the
In
series.
the
I have
first
no idea
quarter, we'll know
what the
who could
prediction
probably take
is
the
for the
game in the
series,
first quarter
but I
because
feel
somebody
like
gonna come out firing.
I feel like on paper, I feel like I would take Nuggets game 1 on paper. Clearly, Miami is the most opposite of on paper team I think I've probably ever seen in recent years.
About
But
the
on
paper.
paper, with everything considered, I think I'm gonna go Nuggets game 1. But I have no idea who's gonna win the series. I have no idea. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna make. I make if you ask a pick, I'll make a pick. But I'm not
Nah, I
confident
ain't
in
making
play.
nobody pick, man. We ain't picking, man. We just
Well,
go.
I
We
got
just
money
go.
on it, so I've already sealed my fate.
Who you put money on?
I put money on Miami. I went with my heart and not my head.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That makes me feel good. So, all right, man. Guess we could jump in the closing thoughts, man. Final thoughts.
Defund Papa those.
Oh gosh,
Yo, I
man.
saw you,
Terrible.
bro. Now I saw your post. I am 100% with you, except for the one that's down here, but that's for a different reason. It's not the GOAT.
I
That's
heard
all I'm
that the
gonna say.
ones in Georgia were better, but the one up here, bro, that most I could have ate McDonald's
Man,
Let me
we
tell you,
went.
with what I
I
had.
ain't talking about
We
food at all.
went on Saturday. That's not the best experience I've had there. I've only been
Terrible,
twice. The first time
bro.
I went was the anniversary, and it was cool. It wasn't it wasn't there, but it was cool. But this time, bro, that shit was trash. Everywhere
Long
from
John
service,
Silver's
Cincinnati,
me, please.
food, everything.
people used to say that all
Defund
the
him. Get him
time.
out of here.
Like, let's just go to Cincinnati, go to Papa Do's. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm good.
It's terrible.
You
Weak,
might as well
just
take me
weak.
to IKEA, and I can't stand IKEA.
We talked about that too.
You could have took me to Raising Cane's. I'd have been cool. Get Papa those out of here. That's my final thought.
Man, what about you, Justin? What's your final thought? E-Pick?
Man, y'all wow, man. Y'all wow. Yeah, wow. Nah. Only thing I'll say is, man, we'll see. What this finals looks like, man. I think it's gonna be interesting because I think it's two different type of styles of play. So I think
Mm.
it's gonna make for some interesting games. So we'll see.
But
Hopefully the rest
both of
don't
them are
jack it
half
up.
court teams, pretty much though. So that little chess match is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I think it's more so to see how they play Jimmy versus how they play Joker.
Yeah. What about you, Ike? What's your final thoughts, man? Your first week back in a couple weeks, man. Appreciate you coming back, man. Surprised too. I had no idea he was coming back. Y'all see what I said? I said probably next week
Mhm.
from what he told me.
He took himself off the injured list. He said, "Nah, I'm back tonight. 2 weeks
So
to hell with that. I'm
when
back
he jumped
tonight."
in here, I was completely
Yeah,
surprised. I don't want nobody to think I was blowing smoke.
Nah, you could tell when he came in. He didn't want you to know when he's coming back because he was
I,
gonna
I
set the precedence for when he's coming back.
yeah. This,
Hey,
look, I still got a ton going on, man. I've been back and forth to Ohio and Atlanta for the last month, and that may not be over. But but when I can get in, I'll be here. It's been enjoyable. Been cussing y'all out for various things. The Murray thing was killing me, by the way. But we're not gonna get into that because we'll be on the show for
We're
another
gonna be
Yeah,
on here
that'll
45
another,
extend
minutes.
this
another
joint.
30 minutes of
Uh,
this.
and I ain't got time to be on the show for another 45 minutes. But yeah, man, I enjoy being here. I appreciate y'all for letting me do this with you, and I'll be here whenever possible. If I'm not here, just know it's important.
Appreciate that, man. And
Word, got it.
my further thoughts again, man. I appreciate all y'all, man. See y'all next week. Hopefully, thanks Ike for popping back in here, man, giving us a burst of energy. Appreciate that, man. And this has been the Epic Podcast. See y'all next week, man.
Joseph.